Assalamu alaikum, everybody. Hopefully everybody is doing wonderful on this Friday afternoon. So you already know what today is. And so alhamdulillah, we made it back home safe and sound. And before I got busy taking care of things, I wanted to jump on really quick and just touch base on Middle Child Day today. So today happens to be Middle Child. I myself am a middle child. And I can speak from experience, that things are not easy for middle kids for many reasons. I have spoken to other middle kids as well, and they have pretty much shared their story as well. And we can all somewhat relate in different aspects, but we have similar stories. In my case, I am the first female and I was the middle child. So as the first female, so much is expected for me. My parents divorced when I was young, when I was in high school. And so I kind of felt like I had to take over because this is what was implemented in my head, that I had to kind of take over as a mother role type thing, and that put so much pressure on me. I had always been taught that I had to act a certain way, and I had to grow up sooner than the majority of the kids. I had no choice but to act more mature than what I was. And growing up, like, people always thought that I was the oldest child, but I wasn't. I'm the middle child, but I just had this strong persona that everybody was always like, you always have an attitude. And it wasn't even with an attitude. It was more like I didn't want to be bothered. I didn't want to make friends. There was so much more important things going through my head that I wasn't trying to think about no boyfriends or trying to make friends or, school. Like, I wasn't thinking about none of that. I was just trying to think about how we were going to survive, how I was going to survive. What was I going to do with my life, And so as a middle child, so much pressure is put on us. And I actually want to touch base with this because 2 years ago, I was actually told by somebody really close that you don't even know, quote unquote, this is exactly what they said, you don't even know what you want to do with your life. And at the time, I didn't want to respond because I was going to respond very aggressively, and I didn't want to respond like that. And I was always one to always bite my tongue for the simple fact of I just never knew how to express myself. When I did express myself, I was always very angry and I just couldn't take it anymore, and I would just burst out. And then when I would burst out, I would say things and I knew it was hurtful, and so I didn't feel right after it. And so I had told myself that I wasn't going to do that anymore because I know the pain it causes, because I've experienced these, pains myself. Like, growing up, I've been called so many different names, and it wasn't because of things that I did. It was just because of the way that I look, of anything. And so that's besides the point. Maybe I'll touch base on that another time. But as the middle child, we do tend to suffer a lot. We start feeling like we are burdened. We start feeling like we don't belong there. We start feeling neglected, and because of those feelings, we start seeking for love or attention elsewhere. And it's not love from like a guy or anything like that. And again, I'm only speaking for myself because I can't speak for every middle child. I'm only speaking from my experience in this case because I was seeking for some type of attention, but it wasn't attention where I wanted a boyfriend. No, to make me feel good. No, it was never like that, because I was even in high school and I still wasn't even trying to have a boyfriend, to the point that they even made fun of me in high school. I even had a make-believe boyfriend because his name was Rocky, right? It was, I guess, funny to the people who decided to give me a make-believe boyfriend because I just didn't have a boyfriend in high school, like how I said. I wasn't interested in guys. I wasn't even thinking about guys. I wasn't even thinking about anything of that sort, even though so much of that was going on in high school. You know, this is a time when kids start liking each other, start dating, and I wasn't just with that. You know, I had other things going through my mind that was the last thing, but it was a joke that, or they found it amusing to give me a make-believe boyfriend, and his name is Rocky. Anyhow, I find that amusing now, but back then I really didn't pay mind to it, because it's like, whatever, you know, like, it only allowed me to understand people's mentality, and that's one thing I just didn't have time for. People who felt the need of making fun of others or humiliating others, I didn't have the time for that. And this is when a lot of people were just like, you're always just so serious, or you always just have an attitude. And it was more like, no, I don't want to associate myself with people like you, because I don't condone that type of behavior. Like, I find nothing graceful or nothing amusing about making fun of somebody else. Like, that shouldn't even make you feel happy. Like, there's people joking about each other's mothers, each other's siblings, and they're laughing. Like, okay, to each his own, but don't come with that over here, because I'm not getting that type of confidence with you guys, because no, that's not the type of confidence I want to have, right? So I always knew to keep my distance from people that I didn't want to be around. And again, I always had my reasons for it. It was just a lot of things I didn't condone. And so, yes, I was known as the girl with the attitude. I was known with the girl who was serious and stuff. Because, again, you're around all these childish demeanors, and it's just like, I don't want to be a part of that. But anyhow, as the middle child, you start searching for this love and stuff from the outside world. And the people that are going to show you love are the people that are usually running the streets, who are doing absolutely nothing with themselves but getting in trouble. And they're gonna tell you, yes, yo, you're my sister, you're my brother, you're this, you're that, like, you know, we're gonna have a good time, like all this stuff. And when things hit the fan, they're just gonna leave you. They're gonna ignore you, probably put you in a jam, you probably go to prison behind it. Who knows? You don't need that type of environment around you. So I am trying to bring awareness, because I understand many times parents don't intentionally just ignore one child, but it happens when you have more than one child. If you have 3 kids, especially, the middle child tends to get ignored more. So start paying attention to all your kids. And I know it requires a lot of time. I know that, I understand, but this is a choice each parent decided to make, to have as many kids as you decided to have. So that means you got to give each child their individual time. And again, it's a choice that everybody made. And it's, I want to mention something that 2 years ago, as a matter of fact, it was said to me and my boyfriend, well, my spouse, that you guys are going to stop your lives for dogs. And it may sound harsh, but yes, we chose to have dogs. That doesn't mean that because they're dogs, we're just going to leave them home unattended and just go and hang out all night and all day and just forget about them. No, we have a responsibility. Our responsibility is to feed our dogs, spend time with the dogs, show them love and affection, because then again, they do need attention as well. We didn't get dogs just to get dogs and just leave them unattended. No. So yes, it might sound crazy, but yes, once you are committed to having kids or pets, your life should be dedicated to your kids or your pets. That's just my personal opinion, and that's just something I stand by. And to answer your question from 2 years ago, yes, if my life has to stop for my dogs, it will, and it has. I mean, I'm still doing what I have to do at home, you know, as far as working, but as far as taking vacation, stuff like that, yes, I'm very limited. But you know what? It's a choice I took upon myself, or me and my spouse decided on, you know. I'm not going to leave my dog somewhere else. I already had a tragic moment with my male dog previously that nothing was done about it, and I'm not going through that again. So I either travel with my pets or we don't do anything, and that's it. A simple life is all I seek for, and the majority of us should be seeking a simple life. All that materialistic thing is just that, materialistic. So I don't want to get off topic. So back to the middle child. Appreciate all your kids. Appreciate all your kids. Tell all your kids you love them. Hug all your kids. Instill positive comments into your child's brain. Talk to your child with love and affection. Give them affection. You know, kids need this. Whether they're boys or girls, they need this. This is gonna allow them to feel safe at home. This is gonna allow them to feel loved at home. And it makes a big difference. You can probably avoid them from going to the streets to get themselves in trouble. So it is up to us, the adults, the parents, to start stepping up and taking full responsibility of our stuff, of our kids, our pets. It's easy to always point fingers and be like, that child is bad, that child did it. But whose fault is it? It's us as parents. It's us as adults. We're not correcting them. We're not spending time with them. We're not showing them affection. It's bound to happen. So that's all I wanted to say. Let's start dedicating more time to our kids. Our kids belong to us, but at the end of the day, who they really belong to is God. God has blessed every single parent with kids, and you guys are being tested to see if you are dedicating your time to your child. So start dedicating time to your child. Forget all that partying, all that nonsense that's bringing you nothing but chaos and just separating you more from your child. Spend more quality time with your kids, and you're gonna see the bond is gonna start changing. Start bringing that family gathering back, the eating dinner together as a family, as a whole. It does change the atmosphere in a home. And all this, I'm saying it just because I've experienced the not being able to eat dinner as a family, and that was something I always craved for. There's so many things that, you know, I craved for as a child, and I am speaking on it now because I know if I craved for these things when I was a child, I know there's other kids craving for it now. So that's the only reason why I am speaking up, to bring awareness. If you guys don't know you're ignoring your kids, take a time to yourself and ask yourself, how much time am I dedicating? How much of my time am I dedicating to my kids? And from there, you can move on from there. You can change certain things once you answer that question. And again, this is not to point fingers and say anybody is bad, because nobody at the end of the day is bad, but we don't intentionally mean to be bad. Many times we just react according to what we've been raised or what we have been around. And so we just have to take it upon ourselves to just change everything. We got to stop all that old tradition that's getting us no positive results, just negative results. Let's start doing things to bring family together in a positive way. No, it's not about bickering. It's not about who's better than who. It's not about who got the most expensive what. It's not about competition. That's not what it's about. It's about, let's help each other out. That's why we're here. We're here to help each other out. We're not here to compete with each other. What are you getting out of competing with each other? Nothing. Nothing at all. But that's it for now. May you all have a blessed and beautiful Friday evening. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. And until next time, adios.